All right, so I thought I'd make a little dev vlog of something that I want to build. I'm going to be building it inside of noudle.ai, which is the app that I've built. It is a AI coding app. It's free to use. You can download it on my website, noudle.ai. That's Noudle, just like it's spelled over here. So what I want to build is a video editing tool. I really don't like editing my videos, and I'm trying to come up with like a more streamlined way to make content. So I've made a little app to help me record my content that's super specific to my setup, so I don't think it'll be useful for anybody else. And now for my specific workflow, I want to build like a very lightweight video editor, because right now I'm using Final Cut Pro. It's creating like files, and if I start editing anything in Final Cut Pro, half the storage of my computer is just taken up. It's a bit of a nightmare. I like Final Cut Pro, but it has so much stuff that I don't need, and mainly the resources that it takes up is just insane. So I don't know if this is possible, but I'm going to try to build my own thing to edit my videos with. It's going to have only the things that I need and nothing more than that. Hopefully it'll work, so let's give it a try. So I've made a little mock-up sketch that I'm going to give to the AI. First, we're going to have to create a project. So a new project, video editor. I want to build an app in Electron for Mac OS. This will be a video editing app. For now, let's only build out the UI and nothing else. I have a little rough sketch of how I want the app to look. I'll add the image here, and please go and build it out. So that will be the prompt, and I'll just take a screenshot of this real quick. Put it to full access. Let's see what it comes up with. Did it really already do that? Okay, let's see. I'm gonna run this. All right, I mean, it built everything exactly. Did it just paste the image in there, or is it actual components? Okay. I didn't want you to build just a complete copy of the image. It looks like you just pasted the image that I gave you inside of the app. Instead, what I want you to do is to create a layout with 3 pieces. So in the bottom, we have the timeline. The orange boxes are the files that are in the timeline. So that could be a video file or an audio file. The green boxes are tools, so that's like the split tool, the select tool, the whatever tools we're gonna have. In the top left, we have our folder with our files, so that's all the media that we have inside of this project. So that's video, audio, images, anything like that. And in the top right section, there's the blue container. That will be the preview of the video. I don't want these to be these actual colors. I want a dark themed UI, and I don't want it to have a scroll like it has now. So please build that out. So if we get this to actually work, my goal is to edit this video in the app. Okay, that's not too bad. That's looking all right. We need to have some padding on top of the project media so it doesn't overlap with this. And I'm having a tough time dragging it around. Okay, that looks much better. A couple of things. The top of the project media is overlapping with the buttons of the window, the traffic light buttons, and I'm having a hard time clicking and dragging the window around to move it around my screen. So make sure that the padding that you add at the top of project media is a clickable area that I can click and drag to move the window around in my screen. Okay, let's start a second session. Inside of the project media, I want a import button where I can import files. I can import video, audio, and images. And I don't want the mockup data anymore inside the project media. I want only there to be the actual data that is inside of our project. Create also a empty state with a nice icon for when the project is empty. Use this icon. And now we're gonna have to find an icon real quick. I really like this Lucid icon library. Let's use this one. Okay, so it says that's done. Okay, we can click and drag it around, but I don't like that border. Okay, we can now click and drag it around perfectly like I requested. However, I don't want the border there separating the top bar that I can click and drag and the rest of the screen. So please get rid of that. In the bottom section in the timeline, we have the tools. Make those tool button squared, and instead of text inside of it, give it nice icons from the Lucid icon library. All right, yeah, that looks much better. I want an icon there as well. So inside the import button, add this icon and get rid of the text import. The button is way too big and not squared. Look at the timeline component in the bottom. We have the tools there. Look how those are styled and match that styling. The preview section is like a dark blue card and a white blue card inside of it with text of it. I don't want that. The only thing I want is a container that has a soft border and no background fill. Underneath it, so there should be a little bit of space between the bottom of the preview and the bottom of the section, and in there I want a couple buttons, a play button, back button to like reset the timeline to the beginning, a pause button, and other buttons that you think are needed. Nice. Okay, cool. Let's see if we can actually import files. Desktop, I'll choose this one. Wow. When I try to import a file, the empty state of the project media does not go away, and the card showing my video has like full height. So make sure to give it a proper styling and also add a thumbnail of the video inside of it. What else can we do in the meantime? Okay, let's get rid of all the mockup data inside of the timeline component in the bottom of the screen. And I want to be able to click and drag media from the project media section into the timeline. I think I got to restructure it a little bit. Instead of the import button, I want there to be a open project button. What this does is it will let me select a folder, and that folder will be where our project lives. So anything inside of that folder, any media files will be displayed in the project media. So I don't have to separately import them, but anything that's inside of this folder already will be shown in the project media section. Okay, so let's just choose the desktop. Whoa, no way, it's working. There's a bunch of files that I've never seen that fish before, or this. I think this is taking anything inside of the desktop and anything inside the subfolders of that desktop. Let's just create a folder here. Let's just add some random files in here. Okay. Okay, so that doesn't do anything yet. Clicking and dragging media from the project media onto the timeline doesn't work yet. Please fix this. Clicking on a file in the project media should open the video inside of the preview section of the screen, so I can preview the file there before importing it onto the timeline. Great, that works. Okay, let's work on the timeline section in the bottom. I want it to be a proper timeline, like in a real video editor. I want to have a vertical line that follows my mouse pointer whenever I am hovering it and shows what second we are on. So also add like a timeline inside of the timeline where it shows the timing, like how long a clip is. Keep it very minimalistic and user-friendly. I'm gonna change the reasoning mode to high because I feel like it might need it. All right, let's see what it did. Okay, let's add a folder, add a file. What happens if we play from here? Cool, that seems to work. So I'm renaming the session so I can keep track of what's happening. Let me close all the old sessions. We don't need that anymore, just to keep organized a little bit. The top one is done. Inside of the timeline, I don't want to be able to select the text inside of the items. Instead, I want to be able to click and drag to reorder them. inside of the timeline, there's only one video track right now. I want there to be an empty track above it at all times. So if there's only one video track that has media inside of it, it should have a second track on the top that I can place things inside of. And if there's two tracks that have media inside of it, there should be a third one on top that I can drag things inside of as well. So I can always add new tracks. So if I trim from the left, it does that and then moves it back to the left. Now let's add a second file and see if it does that as I want to. Okay, that works and that works. That is awesome, cool. So I should be able to click and drag to reorder now because that agent is done. Let's see if it's actually working. Click and drag this out. Awesome. It's not rendering both at the same time in the preview. I can't move them around within this. I'm able to like resize it and put them on top of each other and stuff like that. What else can we do in the meantime? In the timeline section of the screen, we have the tools. I want the cut tool to work. So let's make it so that when the cut tool is active, we can click on a video file or media file and cut it there. So if we have a video file that is 60 seconds long and we cut it at 30, we should now have two 30-second videos. I want to be able to save the state that I'm editing in so that if I refresh the app or if I close it and open it again, whenever I open a specific folder that I've worked in before, I want it to go back to the last state that the edit was in. So make a way that we can save the timeline the way it is edited and the files inside of it. So create like a little save file that all the data of how I positioned the files, cut the files, trimmed the files, and everything that we can do inside the app. Make sure it is just a single file and it's very compact, so no huge files here, please. I don't want it to load all the video files inside of that file or something like that. 3 main sections, so we should be able to resize now. Hell yeah, cool. Awesome, that is working. And now in the top right corner of the app, so basically in the top right of the preview, I want two icons to be there. They are both toggles to show or hide the project media section or the timeline section. Where are we at? We're at an hour 40, wait, we're at about an hour and 40 minutes in. And what we've got so far, I'm pretty excited with. I think this is going to be pretty usable as long as the file that we export is good quality. I think this is pretty cool. A, B, awesome. So split. Oh shit, what did it do? Oh, we're all good. And A, can I reorder these? So after this is done, we're gonna have to build out the export functionality, and then that's pretty much a wrap, because this is pretty much all that I need. Again, I've built this very specifically to fit my needs, and it's a very simple video editor that is probably missing a lot of tools that other people are using, but for my workflow, this is perfect. Like, it has only what I need and nothing else. In the preview section of the screen, on the top right corner to the right of the toggle buttons to hide and show the different sections of the screen, I need a new button, an export button. So clicking this button should open a modal with all the export settings. It should give me settings for resolution. I want it up to 4K, a file format, and other basic things about rendering video files. I should also be able to select a path where I want the file to be exported to. Make sure that I can click on Browse to open the Finder and select a folder that way, so I don't have to type out the whole file path. I just realized we haven't committed anything or created a repo out of this since the beginning of the project, so if it fucks up, then like the whole project's doomed. I can't roll back to anything. We need a good icon. Using the Nano Banana Pro skill, create a really nice app icon for our video editing application. Okay, that's ugly as fuck. We're not using that. That is extremely ugly. We do not want that. Make something more modern and come up with 5 different designs. So generate 5 simultaneously. Make sure they're not running one after the other. That's gonna take too long. So let's see if it can export a 28-second file. Okay, that's still pretty bad. That's all right. Oh, that's ugly. I like this one though. Let me edit that annoying corner out of it. Let's take the High driver tool, then go to brush, go. Cool, that's our app icon. Okay, so it says it fixed the error. Let's try that again. Export. Okay, it says that it exported successfully. Did it work? It did. Okay, so that took a really long time to export, and I was wondering why, because it's only a 28-second clip, right? I didn't realize I had this huge file underneath it, so it was like exporting a 54-minute video. Given that it was an hour-long video, it did pretty all right, so actually it's fine. So all that's left to do is bundle it and like build it as an app. Inside of our project folder, I added a PNG file for the icon. Make sure that it has nicely rounded corners, and I want you to use this as the app icon and build the app for Mac and place it on my desktop, please. Video editor app. Oh, cool. Let's see if it runs. We have a working app. Holy fuck. So in just under 2 hours, we built this thing from scratch using Noodle. So Noodle is this app that I built here. It is a AI coding application. If you want it, it's free. You can download it on noudle.ai. I'm working on this project and it's not completely done. There's new features coming out every single day. I'm working on this project day and night. I'm super excited about it. So this video was just to show you guys how easy you can build inside of Noodle. Thanks for watching, and